You know, sometimes I wish I'd never heard the name James Whitaker Wright. There I am, just minding my own business, running a little short con with Stace. All of a sudden, he shows up.
The old ring scam, eh?
Well, now, mate, I'm busy.
Oh, come on, she's still roping in the mark. You got time for a little action? Or are you too wet behind the ears to try your hand against a real crossroader?
Shoot.
I want to bet you I can bite my own eye.
All right, I'll have a little bit of that. I'll tell you why I'll have a little bit of that, because it can't be done. I don't believe it.
The marks are ready to go, and you're sitting here drinking coffee.
Just having a chat with my new best mate.
What does a lady want to bet I can't bite my own eye?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. You've obviously got a glass one. This guy must think we're complete idiots.
Yeah, I know.
James Whitaker Wright III. Adios, muchachos.
Adios, freak.
My friends call me JW3. And you know what? You are the absolute spit of my own boy.
Oh, right, yeah. Listen, if you put the bets on as well, we might be able to cut you in.
Oh, sure. I swear I haven't seen my son for 30 years. But if he's turned out anything like you, oh, I'd be the happiest man in town. Yes, sir.
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, well,
Slim
if you could just...
chance of that, though. I was always out grifting or slam dunked in the slammer. Poor little bastard never had a chance.
Oh, dear, if you could
But you know what really hurt? When his mom walked out, I never even had a chance to say goodbye to the boy. If I could just say goodbye to someone who looks a bit like my boy, maybe I could get, like, closure.
Fine, yeah. Well, oh, hold up, you all right?
Just a touch of emphysema. I like to be called Pop. Goodbye, son. And good luck.
Goodbye, Dad. Pa.
Excuse me, where are you going? You gonna pay for your dad's chips, yeah?
Well. James Whitaker Wright III.
Do you know this guy, Albie?
No, but I know the name.
Yeah.
James Whitaker Wright I was either the greatest financier of the Victorian age or the biggest fraudster in history. No one is quite sure.
Well, he was that good.
Legend has it that he pulled off the most outrageous cackle bladder there's ever been. Apparently, he faked his own death. Standing there just as you are now, in broad daylight, surrounded by judge and jury and the officers of the court. Whitaker Wright had been running a scam on the stock exchange, but the banks double-crossed him. Accused of fraud and stripped of his assets, James Whitaker Wright was sentenced to 15 years hard labor at the Old Bailey. Always the consummate grifter, however, he had one more trick up his sleeve. As he was being sentenced, he apparently took poison, collapsing dead in court. But grifting legend states that this was the ultimate cackle bladder. He had put himself into a state of suspended animation, and when the court physician could find no pulse or breath, he was pronounced dead.
Well, that's great, but who's the geezer with the moody eye?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know.
No, I believe someone is disrespecting me. That's the problem when you have my reputation.
You think JW3 is like some gunslinger coming to town to try his hand against the fastest con in the West?
No. He's not after our money. No. He's sending me a big message, lit up in 6-foot neon lights.
Yeah? What's it say? Kiss my ass, suckers.
No. It says, go to Lee Park, search. Doesn't look like much today, but 100 years ago, it was the glory of the Victorian age.
Oh, blimey, I bet that didn't come cheap.
And the whole caboodle was built and paid for by James Whitaker Wright.
Who was a hustler.
Oh, no. Let's say a speculator. He was a financial wizard who made a fortune selling big dreams. He began his career peddling phony gold mines to the hungry dreamers who flocked to the Old West in search of El Dorado. Whitaker Wright had a prodigious talent for selling empty promises to those happy enough to believe them.
You know what? I'm actually starting to like this guy.
Yeah. My great-grandpappy sure had style. I see you got my message.
Well, any grifter would be intrigued to learn more about the legendary J. Whitaker Wright.
If you're talking about cons in the American West, my grandpappy pretty much wrote the book.
So why did he come to the UK?
Yeah, sounds like he was doing pretty good over there.
Nickels and dimes. The big money was in the city. My grandpappy reckoned that he could make a bundle floating his dummy gold mine companies on the London Stock Exchange. Whitaker Wright took the banks for millions.
Hotel banks like Cornfoot conspired against him to bring about his downfall.
Sadly true. So, I'm going to avenge my grandpappy and commemorate his greatest con. What do you say? Partner?
Partner? No. I thought this was pistols at dawn and one breakfast.
I had to get your attention somehow.
Well, I only come as part of a team.
Oh, fine. But if you've just trained up a bunch of short-order flops, we may have to find ourselves a real crew of hustlers.
How did you track us down?
I heard Albert was in town, so I just checked into the second most expensive casino in London and waited for you to mosey along.
All right. So where's the first most expensive casino, then?
The London Stock Exchange, of course.
Okay, the biggest store ever. We're on.
So how's this thing gonna work, then?
We're going to launch the Chad Mining Company, which will issue shares to fund exploration for oil. Our oil company will be just as phony as Whitaker Wright's gold mines. And, just like him, we'll be floating our company on the stock exchange.
We can't do that without a respected merchant bank.
So we're going after Cornfoot's, the bank that screwed my grandpappy.
Okay, so let's take a look at our marks. Quentin Cornfoot, head of corporate finance. He's their roper. He romances the clients and brings in the business. And this is Charles Cornfoot, head of trading. He's the shakedown artist. Because once you sign up with a merchant bank, there is a fee for everything. Stacy, you will be our inside woman, working for the bank as an analyst and feeding information back to us. And Ash, you will be our oil expert who sets the rumors running, and Albert and JW3 will play the parts of the foolish investors who drive up the share price. Finally, we need someone to front the company.
Ideally, we need a person who is completely obnoxious.
A brash, ignorant Flash Harry.
Yeah, a mouthy, full of himself, know-nothing barrow boy who'll instantly get right up the toffee noses of every banker in the city.
Get in there! Hey? Check it out, kids. Look at that. Beautiful.
Danny, you're supposed to be the brash city type, but, try not to overdo it, all right?
I get it. So I've got to let them see me, for who I am.
Yeah. So, don't draw attention to your performance. Relax. Let them do some of the work.
Bit of pink.
Morning. Gilbert Manning, Human Resources. We're expecting that new graduate intake today.
Oh, yes, I got the memo. You want me to go straight up, yeah?
No, there's been a cock-up in office services, so now they're redecorating, the entire floor. We're gonna have to take them to the Bank of England instead.
It's work for some, isn't it?
Yeah, innit? Look, I'll be waiting over there. Just send them across to me when they arrive, right?
Okay.
It's a nice colour on you.
Part of Cornfort's new graduate intake.
Oh, yeah, we're just waiting for you over there.
Hello, Gilbert Manning, Deputy Head of Personnel, and you are...
Melissa de Montfort.
Ah, welcome on board, Melissa. Please. This is Fionn, a fellow fresher.
Hello.
Did you get your signing on bonus?
Oh, yes. Thanks. I couldn't beat the size of it.
Right, as I was explaining to Fionn here, there's been a slight hitch.
You don't want it back, do you?
No. Some idiot has decided to refurbish your offices, so I'm going to have to ask one of you to come back in a month's time.
You mean take paid leave?
Yes.
I don't mind. I really, really don't.
Okay.
Hang on. I have to start work and she gets a month's holiday. Well, I was here first. Well, don't be ridiculous. What's that got to do with it?
All right, ladies, let's toss a coin, shall we? Melissa, you call.
Heads.
Heads it is. So, Melissa, you get the chance to spend your signing on bonus. We'll see you in a month's time with a suntan.
Thanks. I'll send you a postcard.
You have a double first in maths and a PhD in astrophysics.
A PhD in astrophysics. So you're good with figures?
There isn't the calculator.
So what's the square root of 74,088?
272.1911, and the cube is 42. So where do you want me to start? On the trading floor or in the back office?
You can start by making us a cup of tea. And don't forget the biscuits.
That's very cheap.
Yeah, it's a special introductory officer, yeah. Everything's steam cleaned and we even scrape your bottom. Ah.
Don't you need a dry dock for that?
Yeah, we got one. In our yard. It's just over the water there.
All right. Have her back by tomorrow.
Right.
Okay, let's up and at 'em.
Now, you can't go to them. They're a merchant bank.
They're not interested clients who are interested in them.
Important customers have to be seduced.
Right. Well, they don't know me from Adam.
I fear not.
Which is why you might need this to make a bit of a splash.
Remember our friend Whitaker Wright? He knew that to float on the stock exchange, it's not what you've got that counts. It's what people think you've got. Greed is the only vital ingredient in a mark, and nothing glitters quite like gold. It helps if they think you're an idiot.
Do you do valet parking for your VIP clients?
Naturally, sir, but...
Hang on to that, son. Parked outside in the yellow line. Where's Director of Corporate Finance, sweetheart?
Down there on the right. But, excuse me, it's a mistake.
What the? Right, stop fanning about. Let's get down to work. Where's this prospectus I've been promised?
Who the hell are you?
Chad Mining Company.
Never heard of them.
Well, there's nothing in the diary.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Oi, mush. I've come a long way for this meeting, sunshine, so let's be having you.
You better call security.
Listen, arsewipe. If this is the way that Chartered and Mutual treat their special customers, then I'm going to have to find another bloody bank, ain't I, to float my company on the stock market.
We're not Chartered and Mutual. We're Cornfords.
Well, where the hell's Chartered and Mutual, then?
It's the next building along.
Are you telling me that I've walked into the wrong bloody merchant bank?
It would seem so.
What am I like, eh?
How's it your bag?
Don't give it a second thought. Could happen to anyone.
So you say Chartered and Mutual are going to float your company on the stock market?
Yeah, giving it the full works, they tell me.
Would you talk to any other merchant banks before putting your business with Chartered?
No, there's no point, is there? I mean, if Sienna Miller wants to get in bed with you, you don't go down the local boozer to see what else is on offer, do you?
Well, Madonna drinks in my local, as does Claudia Schiffer and Kate Moss, not to mention Kelly Brook.
So it may be worth shopping around after all.
Nah, not interested. Not interested at all. Right. Charter Mutual. Next building along, right?
It's a nice boat.
I really think you should hear what Cornfords have to offer. What about over lunch?
Some other time, maybe. Charter Mutual, they're up there waiting for me.
Let them wait.
Good merchant banks should always be willing to wait on a valued client.
I know we are.
Nice to have you on board.
Speaking of which, all right to leave me boat here while I check into the hotel?
I'll tell the porter.
Good. And while you're at it, get him to give it a bit of a swab up with a cloth. all
He'll
right?
get straight onto it.
And then, get him to take it to its moorings in the Surrey Quays.
Of course.
See? They hate me already. She's nice. I hope she's working on my launch.
Oh, she's just one of the new graduates intake.
Good.
So...
Make it happen. So what do you think, sweetheart? you think I'm gonna make money? Or do you think I'm gonna make lots of money?
Well, looking at these proposals, there are a number of aspects that worry me.
Details, I'm sure.
But nobody's ever found oil in northern Chad or even suggested it's a remote possibility.
You stupid little girl. Who the hell do you think you are? Don't you ever open your mouth in front of a client like that again. You understand me?
Don't you care what we're offering the public?
Of course not. We just stack the shelves. We don't set the prices.
So there isn't any kind of company you wouldn't float on the market?
No, that's not true. Only last week we turned down a guy who wanted to launch a company selling toilet/bidets.
Even we thought that was a stinker.
Literally.
If there's one thing I really enjoy, it is poaching clients from someone else.
So what I want you to do is draw up a prospectus that makes this crock look like a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
And see if you can rustle up an oil consultant who's prepared to be flexible.
About his fee?
No, about the chances of finding oil in northern Chad. These figures make pretty grim reading, Mr. Brower.
Yeah, it's very bad.
$150 a barrel in 2 years' time, and all known reserves exhausted by 2020.
No wonder the oil companies want to keep this to themselves.
But anyone in the know stands to make a killing.
So what do you hear about northern Chad?
Well, nothing at the moment. It is in the middle of the war zone, but it could be possible, I suppose. You want me to look into it, yeah?
Oh, yeah. We'll put you on a retainer.
Whitaker Wright knew that the key to the stock exchange was propaganda. So he let loose rumors that flew around the city. Each rumor built the value of his stock until his worthless holdings had become the most precious commodity on the market.
So apparently there's oil in Chad.
Yes, there are rumors all over the internet.
Your oil consultant's really doing a business.
Stacy's doing a good job, isn't she?
Yeah. Apparently she just has to express an opinion to provoke a reaction.
Well, she's a very provocative young woman.
So, are you and JW3 ready to play the part of the foolish investors?
Are there any other kind?
No. But watch your back with JW3. Remember, he's a grifter too.
Are you okay? You think I should call a doctor? Or...
No. I prefer to treat myself. Hopefully to at least a couple of $1 million.
Yeah. Well, that isn't good enough. We couriered you our offer last week.
Well, I'm sorry, but Cornforts have no record of it.
Criminy, what kind of half-assed operation you running here?
Could this be it? But it's only just arrived.
$1 million. Well, I'm afraid, gentlemen, you are too late. The Zinc Holdings subscription closed 3 days ago.
You moron. I told you we should have delivered it here personally.
What are you, the mail boy now?
Listen, Dunderhead. You don't give a guy in a motorcycle helmet $1 million unless he's got a shotgun in his hand.
I wish I had a shotgun in my hand.
What kind of investment opportunities are you looking for?
We like commodities.
Coffee, cotton, pork belly.
Oil?
Oil, sure. But the commodity we like best is risk.
How much risk?
As much as we can get.
Then, gentlemen, I think I may be able to help you.
Hang on. So the shares can't be traded until after the flotation, right?
Yeah, investors can only subscribe to the shares now. They don't actually get their certificates until after we're officially quoted on the stock market.
Aye. And we're selling them at £1 a go.
That's right.
So, what's this price here, and how come we ain't getting it?
Oh, that's a futures market. That trades in the future price of our shares.
Oh, I get it. So the action ain't on the shares for sale, but on the ones we're holding back?
That's certainly the way J. Whitaker Wright saw it.
Whitaker Wright always held on to at least half of the shares in his companies, only cashing them in when his rumors had run their course and the flotation day arrived. By this stage, his stock was worth a fortune. Whitaker Wright's success was soon to prove his downfall. The banks didn't like to see anyone make more money than them, and it wasn't long before they came after him.
Ahoy! Hey! All right, playmates. Who's coming out for a bit of a beano then?
What?
A beano, a little bivvy up. Come on, get rid of all this stuff.
What are you celebrating? What?
The latest City Wonder Kids' first spectacular deal. My treat, Bolly and Krug all the way.
We're working, I'm afraid.
Ooh! Hang on a minute. Who's the bleeding client here?
You are.
That's right. You are, me am. If I jolly well want a jolly go on a jolly up, and you and Missy are jolly well better jolly along too.
Naturally, we would be delighted to celebrate your good fortune. And there's an old Cornford's bank tradition that any evening out always begins with a round or two of liar's poker. Are you familiar with the game?
No.
You guess the serial numbers on £50 notes?
Listen, don't worry about the 50 notes, because I've got a pocket full of them.
No, gentlemen never play for cash amongst themselves.
No, what do they play for then? Buttons?
Forfeits, of course. Just as we did at Ollie Ollie Big School.
5 sixes.
6 sevens.
6 nines.
9 6s.
Bollocks, Charles.
You don't think I can make 9 6s?
I don't. Challenge. None.
I've got 3 sixes.
3 of the same.
And I've got 3 6s, which I believe makes 9 in total.
7.
8. 9.
Oi, do you have to hit me that bleeding hard? I wouldn't have hit you that hard if you'd lost.
Yeah, but playing for the bank, I was never going to, was I?
God, it's not about business, is it? Any nutter walks in here with any idea you make money whatever happens.
Yeah, just about. Although some ideas are even too crazy for crooks like them.
Come off it. They're sewer rats.
Yeah, but even so, this guy came in here last week trying to launch a company selling toilet/bidets.
What is it? Toilet and a bidet?
Yeah. Charles turned him down. Said it reminded him of you, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, apparently it's not squirting pointlessly. It's just full of shit.
Oi, Kojak, give me 2 more bottles of jubbly, all right? And, stick it on Cornford's tap, all right? All right, lads?
What a charmless week.
Sticks in my craw to see some Johnny-come-lately wander in and take the piss out of my investors.
Exactly, that's our job, isn't it?
He's quite ghastly. And he's going to be even more ghastly once his company's floated. But there's nothing we can do about it, is there?
Says who?
Well, look at the price of his shares. He stands to make a fortune.
Not if we short the hell out of him.
Bingo.
But you can't do that. You'll be selling shares you don't own. That's illegal.
Who cares? We sell hard enough, the price will collapse and we'll buy them all back the next day for peanuts.
So no one will know we didn't have them in the first place.
All we need is for someone to start a new rumor.
Sounds like a job for our oil consultant.
He'll need to move fast if we're going to trash chat mining before quotation day.
You know these rumours you've been spreading? Well, if there's any oil in northern Chad, I'm a Dutchman.
I'm the Dutchman.
Yeah. Anyway, it's time to put a stop to it.
Why would you want to do that?
It's always a turn-on to see a pole dancer standing on her head, isn't it? Makes everything sort of hang out a bit more, doesn't it?
Yes, for sure.
It's a bit like your rumours. Why don't you see if you can't stand them on their heads, too?
You are coming to me with a big ask. A very big ask.
Yes, but a pole dancer normally gets triple her fee for it, so why shouldn't you?
The banks began to plot his downfall. He had taught them the power of rumors, and now they decided to launch their own. With the market already worried about the value of the stock, the bank began to sell. Nothing drives the value of a company down more effectively than a bank selling its shares hard and fast. And that's just what Cornfoots did. They sold and sold and sold some more.
Sell, sell, sell! And sell some more!
So the more the price drops, the more money we make.
And how do we get the price to drop? We sell, of course, and keep selling.
But when we eventually run out of buyers?
Not until it hits zero.
And in the meantime, I got a couple of scrawny-necked American turkeys who are going to peck at anything.
So make sure you keep your wits about you.
Or better still, about me.
Now that's the sort of dream the city should be offering the public.
Bastards. You know, all our anticipated profits are going up in smoke because we're being sold short by our own bastard bank.
Yeah, well, that's a stock market for you, isn't it?
They did the same thing to JW3's grandfather.
So what are we going to do then?
Keep on buying, of course.
Just let me get this straight, all right? We're buying our own company for more than we're selling it, right? And what's more, we're buying it several times over, all on tick, all with money that we don't even have.
Yeah.
What? This is nuts.
We've seen the rumors, but we have an inside track of our own.
We still want to buy long, if that's the technical term.
Well, I'm sure your bravery will be rewarded. We just need to set a floor and a limit.
Oh, no floor. We'll chase the market all the way down.
And no limit. We'll take all the action we can get. With his stock worthless, the bank began to acid strip Whitaker Wright, taking everything he had grifted so hard to own and lining their own pockets. They even had the shirt off his back.
Okay, we'll stop there.
I didn't really think you could sell it right down to zero.
Who can't? Time for one last spin of the wheel, guys. Keep selling! Keep going!
Come on.
Here's to Chad Mining, the most worthless company in the whole wide world.
Come on, cheer up. Because not only do we own the whole of the Chad Mining Company, but we own it several times over.
We bought all the shares.
That's right. At 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're pledged to buy them all over again. 100 times over, and maybe for 1,000 times more than they're worth.
But I mean, that's mad.
Yes, it is. But there is method in our madness.
1 hour of trading left.
All right, guys, party's over. Start buying.
This is almost as stacked as you are.
We're pledged to sell millions of shares tomorrow at prices ranging from £10 each to 10 pence.
That's right. And now we're going to cover that position by buying them all back at a penny a go. Now that's what you call a profit.
Hang on, nobody's selling at a penny a share.
Well, go along at 2p a share. Or 3p. We can afford it.
Still no takers, and I've got to 5p a share.
What's going on? That crap's worthless. Penny holders should be happy to give them away.
Still drawing a blank.
Yeah, okay, that's great. Well, that's it. When the market opens tomorrow, Chad Mining will be officially quoted on the stock exchange.
Maybe we should convene a shareholders' meeting.
Okay, so, gentlemen, does anyone feel like selling a single share of the Chad Mining Company to Cornfoots tomorrow?
Not me.
Nor I.
And what about you? It's your company. You still own half the shares.
So if we don't sell them our shares, they can't sell them back to us? Well, isn't that a breach of contract?
Yeah, it's a very serious one, with very serious penalties. If the bank can't sell the shares they're pledged to sell, they're stuffed. And they have to pay out for every single day they can't sell those shares.
Well, that's brilliant. So it's like compound interest. In fact, it's better than compound interest. It's like having your own bleeding bank.
The shares can't just vanish. They must be out there somewhere. Keep trading in the Far East and in New York. Someone must sell eventually.
They better. Well, tomorrow we're all completely and royally buggered.
Forget about the market. Our charmless oik of a client is still holding 50%, isn't he?
So we can buy what we need from him.
Listen, gents. I mean, I'd love to help you out. Really, I would. But unfortunately, none of my shares are for sale.
You can name your own price. Anything.
I know. So who's Mr. Squirting full of shit toilet / bidet now, then? I'll see you tomorrow. All right. When Chad Mining officially opens on the stock market. See ya.
Well, all the talk here on the trading floor is about the Chad Mining flotation. After a rollercoaster week on the futures market, it's anyone's guess what the opening price may be. Well, £15. Who would have predicted an opening price like that?
So why is the price still rising? Come on, Eddie, keep up. Cornfoots are driving the price up themselves.
Yeah, and watch how high it goes when they really start to panic.
It don't matter, all right? What they offer for our shares, we ain't selling.
This is going to be some blow-off. The cackle bladder is the ultimate blow-off. There's nothing quite as effective as faking your own death. And if you want to make it really convincing, you are going to need a phony physician.
Dr. John Grant?
Good morning. I'm doing the rounds, giving the department its annual checkup.
What? You can't possibly do that, huh?
It is in our diary.
And without it, I'm afraid I cannot authorize your annual increase in pension provisions.
Under the circumstances, it may be the last one we ever get.
Oh, all right, but you'll need to do it very quickly.
Of course. And just breathe normally, please.
The Chad Mining people have arrived.
We'll have to continue this later.
Fine. I'll come back tomorrow.
No, you won't. You'll wait there. There are your settlements.
£1 million sterling. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow for the same amount.
Oh, unless the share price rises again.
Of course, you do know our other partner, don't you?
Hello, Charlie. Remember me?
You're all in this together. I'll go to the police, the financial regulator.
And say what? That this bank's more crooked than we are?
Insider dealing, driving the market, selling your own clients short. It sounds like a fast route to prison to me.
100 years ago, this bank destroyed my grandpappy. And now, gentlemen, it's payback time.
You're James Whitaker Wright's grandson.
Yep. And with these options to buy, I can make your bank pay and keep on paying as long as I like.
Hang on there, hang on. There is such a thing as too much greed. Perhaps we could offer you guys a deal.
Anything. Goes for me, too.
You did say anything.
Why are you thrashing her, too? Be much more fun.
Because I'm a gentleman. And just for that, we ain't gonna sell you the shares.
You filthy crook. I should beat the lip off.
Hey, come on. Hey. He's not breathing. What? I can't feel a pulse.
Call the doctor.
Dial 999.
No, yes! The moron waiting in my office.
I'm afraid this gentleman is dead. I'd better call the coroner's office.
You assaulted him.
It was an accident.
Tell that to the police.
At the very least, I'd say you're looking at manslaughter.
Manslaughter?
Yeah. That's 10 years minimum.
I can't go to prison. I didn't mean... I'm a banker, not a murderer. You gotta help me.
Well, I suppose we could make this go away.
You could, how?
Of course, we need the checks for another day's settlement.
Make sure you make them out for cash.
What about the doctor?
We'll talk to him and tell him what happened. As for you, I'd like you to go home and come back tomorrow as if nothing had happened.
Except we just lost 2 million plus of the bank's money.
Well, share prices can go up as well as down.
Charles, we should go.
All right, you can get up now. Come on, stop messing around.
Hey. I can smell almonds.
What's that?
Cyanide.
What's going on here?
His heart stopped.
He's having a laugh.
No, he's still not breathing.
Dear Albert, you had better sit down.
That's right. I really took cyanide. And the name's not Whitaker Wright. It's Bill Clegg. I spent my life working for the Jolly Asbestos Company.
until this rotten bank took us over. They stripped out the assets, trashed the pension fund, bankrupted the place. And the fact that half the workers turned out to have asbestosis didn't bother them neither. So when I was diagnosed as terminal, I decided to become JW3 and take my revenge. I sent all the details to the regulator this morning. So the settlement's worthless. But there's still enough to send Charles to the pen for a long time and put his bank out of business.
Apparently Clegg really enjoyed working with us, and he's sorry he can't reimburse us for our time and expenses. He now suggests we exit via the back entrance because the fraud squad are coming in the front any minute.
You bastard.
Oh, don't grieve me too much. I only had a few weeks left in me anyway. So, instead of pretending to take cyanide, I took it. So it's not a cackle bladder. It's a double bluff cackle bladder.
Right, come on, everyone. We wipe this place clean and get out of here. Come on, let's go, let's go.
Come on, you're late. We need to get out of here. Where's JW3?
Back there, dead.
What?
And it's not JW3.
And he's not even American.
Come on.
You know this thing's going to be all over the papers by tomorrow.
We're gonna have to split up for a few weeks, make with some alibis. Albert, check into a hospital. Danny, Stacy, if you... Oh, no, wait a second. He said penitentiary. In the letter to Albert, he said that there's enough evidence to send Charles to the pen for a long time.
No real northerner would ever use that word.
No, they'd say behind bars or in prison or something, but who would use the word pen?
Only an American. An honest-to-God salute the Star-Spangled Banner, genuine Yankee Doodle Dandy, son of Uncle Sam. We have been privileged to meet one of the greatest artists of our chosen profession.
Yeah, look, would somebody please tell me what's going on, eh?
Not a cackle bladder.
Not a double bluff cackle bladder.
But a double bluff cackle bladder.
All the settlement checks are gone as well.
So much for being worthless. Okay, let's think. Albert, you've just come round from suspended animation. You've got $2 million plus of money orders in your back pocket. You've just successfully blown off your fellow team of boosters. What do you do next?
We're headed for the airport and get the first plane out of here.
Well, of course you can upgrade to first class, Mr. Wright. But you will need to run to catch your flight. It's already boarding.
I'm a little old for that these days. Can I ride on the caboose instead?
A month or more solid work, and all we've got to show for it is egg on our faces.
Well, it seems a small price to pay to witness a beautiful thing. And I was wrong. The true art of the con is not to con a fellow con.
But to con a fellow con who is expecting to be conned.
As you say, I tip my hat to the old snake. We all received a valuable lesson that money can't buy. Even at my age, you're never too old to learn.
Yeah, very philosophical. But philosophy won't pay the rent.
No.
but I will.
How?
Remember that toilet/B-day idea? Well, I like the sound of it, so I bought a couple of grand's worth of shares in the company before it floated.
Great. So now we're looking at an even bigger loss.
No, not at all. Apparently, Japanese can't get enough of it. It's supposed to be the biggest thing in Tokyo since they invented the futon.
What, so the share price just goes up?
Oh, yeah. I got 25 grand already.
Then you really are Mr. Toilet/B-day.
Well, I'm not one to boast, but...
There are a lot of different stories about what happened to James Whitaker Wright after his adventures in the city. I don't really know what the truth is, but I like to think that somewhere along the way, he found his own little piece of grifting heaven.